Hey guys, thanks for tuning in again. I've been trying to record for some days now, but my heart is heavy. Plus, I don't feel well. It's been one hell of a week. You see, I can't wrap my head around the fact that in this year of Buhari, men still be their wives, and that the church encourages women to go back to their abusers. I gave my word that we'll have an episode every Saturday, so I might break down, I might lose my line of thought, but I will do this because I gave my word. New episode on Saturday, and that you will get. Also, I'll be sharing people's opinion on domestic violence and especially on Osinachi's death. So I'll be sharing voice, records, and messages. See, we're talking about Osinachi Wachuku because aside from the fact that she's a public figure, she also fits into that old perfect charade of what a woman should be. If she was not perfect according to the Nigerian society standard, the Proverb 31 woman who would have been reading ugly opinions would be reading opinions like what did she do to her husband? Maybe she was cheating. Maybe she was being proud because she makes more money than her husband. But she was perfect. The icon of morals, according to you. So let's not act like the reason why we are infuriated is because of domestic violence. No, don't. Don't do that. Please don't. Because domestic violence is a day to day occurrence in Nigeria. I doubt there is a day. I doubt a day goes by without one Nigerian woman experience domestic violence or even die. I doubt there is a day goes by without one woman in Nigeria subjected into violence by the man she lives with or she's living with. You know, I cannot count how many domestic violence cases I have read in the media. I can't count, this year alone. And I can remember reading that five between January and April got killed by their husbands. The only reason why Nigerians are furious is that this time it happened to someone we couldn't use as a moral lesson to Nigerian women. You see, I feel sorry for women who are misogynists, always quick to throw other women under the bus. I better pass my neighbor. You contributed to this dangerous system of oppression. But you know what the irony is? The oppression doesn't stop at bad women. The women you think are bad. No, the oppression doesn't stop at them. The oppression doesn't stop at the women you think are deserving of that treatment. As you can see in the case of Osinachi, it will touch everybody. Everybody fit collect anytime. Living an abusive marriage is not easy at all. So I don't know why some of you find it difficult to be kind to your fellow woman. A fellow woman like yourself, you can't show any form of kindness. All you do is judge, judge, judge. Assistant Jesus. What am I getting at? Society has to stop stigmatizing divorced women. Society needs to stop looking down on children of single mothers. We need to stop blaming single mothers for society woes. We need a strict law on domestic violence. We need to teach girls that they are whole and do not need a husband to complete their lives. If marriage happens, yes. If it doesn't happen, well, we need to shame abusers and ostracize them. Disfellowship them from church, from mosque, sack them in the office. Yes, sack them. Stop making friends with them. Treat them like cast outs. Because that's what they are. We can't keep tolerating these people. We can make our society uncomfortable for abusers, and it starts with you and me. You know, scrolling through Twitter, I read some people's silly opinion. You know, I can't even act like I do not see it. I see things like she should have left, leave to where? I'm listening. Leave to where? She's a woman in Nigeria, crime one. She's a minister of God, crime two. Her career is tied to the church, crime three. She now has children, background, crime four. Crime one. Being a woman in Nigeria means you have to constantly prove yourself to the society. The structure of this nation does not protect Nigerian women. It comes with a lot of responsibility, restriction, and of course, high expectation. You're conditioned to be long suffering. You are told ile oko is ile eko. From when you start growing breasts, your mother is already molding you for marriage. We are groomed to see marriage as an achievement and living as a failure. In as much as I do not join, the belief that marriage is an achievement. It's not an achievement. I do not join that bandwagon that marriage is not an achievement. I think it's an achievement. I think it's a good milestone. But like every other success, it is okay to fail. In life, we make a lot of decisions, and so many are mistakes. The person we decide to marry is also a decision and can be a mistake. We should not encourage people to dwell on their mistakes. If people marry someone and it's not working, the society needs to make life comfortable enough for them to walk away. Crime number two, women who are divorced are not allowed to minister in church. They are only good as sanitation workers. They don't get promoted. They don't get anointed. There's this video that I saw, that circulated one time. It happened in Ghana. A lady was ministering on the altar, and another woman stood up to collect the microphone from her and told her, go back to your husband. Go back to your husband. Crime number three. My question is, will the church had continued to invite her to minister on the altar if she had left her marriage? Will her friends in church kept being friends with her if she had left her marriage? I mean, are we going to deny the fact that some married women see single women and divorced women as husband snatchers? Do you remember the Akanchawa lady? Those two couples, they parted ways some years back. But guess what? The man still sings in the church, still ministers in some churches and some Christian gatherings. But the same grace is not given to the woman. Crime number four. How many pastors, prophets, and seers advise their spiritual children not to marry women from single mothers? I'm listening. How many times have we read on social media of women and men, the righteous ones, the ones that their marriage is working, come out and tell that the problem that we're having in the society is because of children from single mothers? Are we going to deny that? So here you have it. You are the reason why these women stay in abusive marriages. And if I'm going to be blunt, the women who died in the marriage got killed by their husband, yes. But you, who stigmatizes divorcees and their children, are also part of the killing. According to statistics, High income women are more likely to stay in abusive marriages compared to the low income counterparts. I mean, in Nigeria, the high income um, the high income women in Nigeria are more likely to stay in abusive marriages than the low income. So, meaning that lack of funds is not the major reason why the women in Nigeria stay in domestic violence. I mean, the 5 women who got killed this year by their husbands were all breadwinners. All of them. Anyway, we'll go into listening to our voice no a voice record, one of the opinion, and I'll be back.
Rumor has it that she was tied down by her husband and her children would flog her. Out of all the brutality we learned the woman went through, this is the shocking one. But if she got to that point and she didn't leave, is it that she has started having psychological problem, or she's obviously afraid of something? Or maybe she's in cult with her husband, or maybe there's something we are not aware, or maybe there's more to the story. Because a woman's breaking point is when it involves her children. Now, to the extent of her children beating her, then there's something more that we do not know about. But if we would not mind our business, because married women have this attitude of I don't want anyone interrupting my house. I just want our marriage to work. If people would just not mind their business and things like that, we would have saved this woman. Because at that point, then she's helpless. We would have saved her and she would be alive by now. Then as a Christian, I would totally blame the church for this, for not taking responsibility. And the concerning the topic of where will she live to, who will accept her, and I'm sure that will be one of the questions in her heart. Please let's take and go to our all social media platform and write this hashtag give attitude to abusers. The abusers have been comfortable, but this is when we say no. Give attitude to abusers. So I am coming out to say, Dara, give attitude to abusers. So that's my contribution. There's a lot to say, but I won't stop talking because I'm actually still in shock. Thank you.
Yes, give attitude to abusers. Abusers have been too comfortable. That is so on point. Thank you so much, Dara. Domestic violence is not a marital issue. It is not a family issue where we have to mind our business. It is all of our headaches. If your neighbor is hitting his partner, please report it. We can't keep losing women because of men's ego. Enough is enough. We'll be listening to another opinion.
Good morning, good people. Um, Happy Easter. I'm just here to share my thoughts on the death of the gospel singer Mrs. Osinachi Nwachukwu. I heard the story of her death a few days ago, and it was it was a very very painful one. It's a very painful way for somebody to die. I pray that her soul will rest in peace, and that God will comfort her loved ones whom she has left behind. And between then and now, I've had to, I've seen several comments online. I've had different people say different things. Uh, From the few that I have seen, I can just say that we humans have double standards, if I'll put it that way. We always gravitate towards the side of the majority. Several persons have said she's supposed to speak out, she should come out of it, she should help herself. Why would she die in that kind of marriage? It's better to die unmarried than to be in a problem. While I'm not saying those statements are wrong themselves, I'm saying that most of us are saying those things that we are saying because of what actually happened. We are saying it because she died. Now, I don't know what was going on in the lady's heart, but assuming what she had in her mind was that, oh, I'm going to fight this, I'm going to fight for my marriage, I'm going to win my husband back, he's going to become a sane person. If that's what she has in her heart and it had turned the way she wanted, that suddenly something somehow happens, that the man becomes a sober person, he becomes a caring husband, we would have been saying this a different story. We would have been saying, "Oh, she fought for her marriage. Oh, she's a godly woman. Oh, if it were some other people, they would not have been able to endure. They would have packed out of their husband's house. But now we are saying all we are saying because of how things went. Well, for me anyway, that aside, my first thought when I heard about her death was that, of course, they say these people, it's not they say, it's even something that is clearly seen. These people are Christians. When all of this was going on, why didn't the church come to our rescue? Why didn't they do anything about it? What was their position? And for me, I was not going to blame any person. I was looking directly at the church that in the midst of all of this. So what did they do about it? But then the leadership of the church has come openly and they have said they are not aware of the situation. Now, we might want to play blame games. We might want to say, how can this be going and the leadership is not aware? How can they be coming to church? They won't know what is going on in people's life. But the truth of the matter is, the people who constitute the leadership of the church are humans. They are people like you and me, and everybody have their problems too. They also have problems in their life that they are dealing with. So if it is not obvious, then they may not have known it. Because according to what the leadership is saying, they said the woman appeals to several people who are aware that please, please, please don't take this to the church. I don't want the church to be aware. So then I can excuse the church. So, but what about our friends? What about the people around our life? People, or we have different reasons for not wanting to intermeddle in people's affairs. We say, "Oh, I don't want to be the one that is responsible for breaking somebody's marriage." But look at this scenario. If you have a friend that is in a burning house, and that friend of yours is not aware, if you are a true friend and you have a way of bringing that person out of the house, would you say you would not pull out your friend out of the house because she does not want to leave or she's telling you to leave her there? Would it be fair for you to leave her in that house and let her burn to death? Well, my assumption is that the answer to that would be no, you wouldn't leave her in that condition. So I believe those around her life should have spoken on her behalf. Many of the reasons why we live together as a community is because sometimes we need the help of others. Sometimes we are helpless, we cannot help ourselves, and other people have to help us get out of our own mess. So I do believe that people around our life should have helped her when they can, not start talking when she has passed on.
Thank you so much, Ruben. You're right on the point that if she did not die, we would have been singing another song. Nigeria women, the older women, the Christian community would have sung a praise talking about how virtuous she is and that this generation of women do not have this attribute. In fact, for women like us who are children of disobedience, we won't have heard the last of it. For me, I do not believe the church does not know about it. They definitely have idea of what is going on. The leadership of the church probably might not have the full story, but that they do not have any knowledge of it is not true. She's not just a member of the church. She's in the choir and a famous one. And for the friends and family, I'm just irritated. I mean, they had to wait for her to die before coming out. It's just a shame. Anyway, I will just read some of the contributions that was sent to the DM. Okay, so the first message says, "Hello, Talk the Pod. I agree with blaming the church and all members of the family, but we cannot excuse the victim of the blame. Some women see themselves better than other women when they are married. My mother's husband raped me when I was young, and instead of my mother to fight for me, she sent me to my grandmother." Wow, I treated this. If you go to any of the podcast listening platform, I actually read some of this, and I don't know really. So just if you want a deep knowledge into what this whole episode is all about, I think you should listen to that. Listen to this episode on any of the listening podcast listening platforms. I mean, I'm trying to understand how bad, how obsessed can you be about marriage for you to rather for you to stay with a man or live with a man that raped your own daughter. So the second message says, "I am a 17 years old boy who has watched his father beat his mom at little provocation. When I was younger, I report my mom to my dad knowing he would beat her. But now that I'm older, it's not fun anymore." I don't know. But living in a very crazy world. The world is crazy. I mean, anyway, to the other one. Okay, so I had to summarize this because it was quite long. My husband beat and raped me while I was on my period. I packed out of the house, and my friends and who were also part of the church stopped being friends with me. I have made new friends now and vowed not to go to church. The church shields abusers when they are men. See, the problem is even when these women decide to leave the marriage, that's why I said leave to where. Even when these women decide to leave the marriage, the church, family, society, friends are always ready to stigmatize this woman. They are always ready to frustrate this woman. And that's why today's topic is leave to where. To us, the same society that would castrate them. The last but not the least says, "I am moving out with my 3 children to my parents' house. After reading the gospel singer story, one thing keeps telling me I might be next." It's just sad that Osinachi is okay. So I treated most of these questions. So if you read, like I said, if you listen to if you go listen to any of this podcast listening platform, it will give you more insights on how it will give you more. I expressed myself more, in the voice record. Anyway, this will be all for this episode. I think I tried my best. It's actually not a very easy one, but here we are. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate. Thank you and bye for now.